So today I'm at a farm in Gloucester, and this family have been farming here for generations. Mike's, I believe, is the third generation farmer here, and we'll go and speak to Mike in a minute. And farms have been encouraged to diversify because there's not much money in farming, and things are pretty tight for farmers, and supermarkets aren't helping with their artificially low prices on milk, and Mike's a dairy farmer. So farmers have been encouraged to diversify over the years, and one thing farms have got is they've got plenty of space, and they got usually a few farm buildings knocking about that the local community can make use of. So that's what Mike's done. He's opened his sheds up to some of the community to come and use his farm in return for some donations, some cash. And that has brought the local planning department around. So the situation here is, as Mike will explain in a moment, is that, as far as I understand it, the local planning department are now pressing criminal charges against Mike for renting out his sheds to the local community and offering up some of his farm space as storage space. They are attempting to prosecute Mike under the Proceeds of Crime Act. Now, viewers of this channel will remember Danny and Linda's case a few episodes back. I will link that in the description, and I'll link it here. Danny and Linda lost their farm to Runnymede Borough Council for the very same, under the Proceeds of Crime Act. Danny and Linda did a very similar thing to what Mike and his family here are doing. They diversified, allowed storage space, and rented out some of their farm buildings to local businesses, the local community. And then the council prosecuted them under the Proceeds of Crime Act, and they were sentenced to 13 years in prison. This is where planning policy turns farmers into criminals. So we'll have a chat with Mike now and he can explain in his own words what's happening here in Gloucester at his dairy farm.
Hello, Clive.
Hello, Mike.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Morning. And yourself?
So, I'm here in Gloucester with farmer Mike, and Mike's going to tell us all a bit about his situation with regards to government policy and how it's affecting farmers. Now, Mike's case, I feel, links very closely to Danny and Linda down in Egham, who were a farming couple that was sentenced to 13 years in prison, which I'm going to link, because this case, I feel, is very closely linked to that one, and this is going to touch on and affect a heck of a lot of farmers around Britain. So, with that said, how you doing, Mike?
Fine, thank you, Clive.
Good man. And
Nice
so,
to see you.
thanks for obviously inviting me around and having this chat today. And I think your situation. Now, tell me firstly, why did you ask me over? What?
Because we're having problems with the council. The council are on my back.
Yeah.
Having seen one or two of your videos, YouTube videos, is resonating with what is happening with me.
There's one in particular.
With the very old couple who lost the council took their farm away.
Yeah.
I've been to court with the council over what we've been doing.
Planning related stuff, isn't it?
Planning related. And it wasn't until we saw the your YouTube video of the old couple losing their farm.
That's Danny and Linda. That is, yeah.
And having some paperwork come from the Crown Court, alarm bells started ringing. Hence, you've become involved. The conversation with yourself, and helping to explain what is out there, what we're tied into with the authorities who have control, so-called control over us.
Well, that's, yeah, and they certainly do. They certainly do at the moment anyway, because we've had a bit of a chat about what the situation looks like.
Yes.
And you're right, Danny and Linda's case, now just for the audience here who may not have seen that, Danny and Linda had their farm taken from them by Runnymede Borough Council. Those are Danny's opinions on the matter, and I happen to concur with that. I happen to wholeheartedly agree. And if you watch that video, I think probably a lot of you will come to the same conclusion. And Danny and Linda lost their farm from the Proceeds of Crime Act. Now, is that what's being touted at you here, Mike? Can you explain to the audience why the Proceeds of Crime, what's that all about?
They're making out as though I've bought property on the back of what I'm doing, even though I've got paperwork to show where the money has come from to buy certain different properties, but they're making out as though I'm doing something illegal, and using this money to buy property, and so-called using it as
Proceeds of crime?
Yes.
Right, yeah, so in Danny and Linda's case, the council said that they are running businesses without planning permission was part of their... In Danny and Linda's case, part of the accusation from the council was that Danny and Linda were using their farm buildings to run, to rent out to other businesses, and they didn't have planning permission to do so. And therefore, because of that, the council then initiated launched a complaint under the Proceeds of Crime Act. So the council was saying because they've not had planning permission, that it was now the proceeds of crime, and they got criminally prosecuted under that act. So am I right in saying that that's because this started off as a planning matter, didn't it? You've got some farm sheds here, which we'll go and have a look at in a minute.
Yes.
And
which were slightly vacant, and we've approached the local community because there was one or two young lads. The council didn't want them messing with their cars on the side of the road, and they asked me whether they could use a building, which we've done for them.
That all seems pretty. That's not out of the ordinary. It doesn't seem very criminal to me, anyway.
No.
So you've got this shed. Some local lads are tinkering with cars on the side of the road. You said here, or they asked you, or however it come about. They're now using one of your barns and got a couple of their cars in there, tinkering in there, instead of on the side of the road.
Yeah, which the council didn't want them doing.
Yeah. Now that, in my mind, is not criminal, and there's no harm in that, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, obviously the council might take a different view on it, but that's just my opinion on it. So you're saying it started off with a plan. How did it start with the planning then? Can you just tell us about that? How it started?
Obviously, they noticed some vehicles being parked on the farm. We've only started having the vehicles on. Obviously, they had a complaint, or the council tells us they had a complaint. I don't know whether that's right or wrong. And obviously, they come and investigated, and hence.
And that got the ball rolling on the planning enforcement, did it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I asked for planning permission, but they told us that I wouldn't get planning permission. Okay,
so on that point, and I noticed that just for the audience here who don't know where you're situated, you're in Gloucestershire, you're not far from the M5 motorway, there's a busy main road right out the front door, probably
B road.
15 yards from here.
Yes.
It's a very busy road, so we're not in the depths of the English countryside as such, and it's not an area of outstanding natural beauty as far as I'm aware. No. And not only that, as I come past, I passed a neighbouring farm that's got a load of trucks in, doing an industry, I would say no different to here. Would that be a fair comment?
Fair comment, yes.
So you're not out in the middle of the countryside doing this on your own. You're not some rogue farmer whose illegal fly tippers are coming in here for a few quid in the back pocket that we know goes on.
No.
You're not doing that.
No.
And you're not doing anything different than even some of the people around you.
No.
Okay, so I just want to give the audience a bit of a clearer picture as to what's going on here. And we'll go and have a look at some of these barns in a minute. You put some hard standing down as well, extra hard standing, haven't you? So there's nothing, in my mind, nothing. And
some of it was from the council anyway.
So the council brought some of their excess tarmac here and tipped here.
Yes.
And so as far as from what you've told me, if what you told me is right, then I don't see anything criminal in that. I don't know. Would you? Is that a fair comment?
No. Yes.
It's a fair comment.
Yes.
Yeah. It don't seem very criminal to me. So, but we know with Danny and Linda's case, again, which I will link in the comments section, because if you need to go and watch that video to see what can happen. Now, if Mike's not successful in his argument here with South Gloucestershire Council, I fear that Mike's farming, third generation farming, is going to come to an end because he could lose his farm. Danny and Linda lost their farm. They had their farm taken off them. One way or another, they lost their farm. So it's very, very serious. So what I want to try and convey to other farmers is, Mike's an average, your everyday farmer, the backbone of this country, with an ordinary, everyday problem with the planning authority, which every farmer, there must be a million farmers watching this, who's got in exactly the same position as you, got a few old sheds there knocking about, that other people are using, and in exchange, for some cash. Yeah, just diversify, I believe, is what the government are asking farmers to do.
Yes.
So you've diversified, and now there is, because of a planning thing, it's now being escalated to the proceeds of crime.
Correct.
You're going to be essentially now made a criminal and potentially lose the farm.
Yes.
Is that as good summary as? Would you say that's
Very much
fair?
so.
What I've said.
Yeah.
That's how it looks to me. So. Yeah, I think. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think
if we missed.
No.
So
only that we as a farm, cash is very tight at the moment due to the prices. Hence why we've diversified. We milk about 80 cows. We've got 250 head on the farm with a bit of beef and all the followers. We farm about 400 acres. Not all owned.
So you're not a small farm. You're not a small farm. You're a decent size farm, and you're struggling even at that level.
Yes.
To make ends meet farming. Is that a fair comment?
Yes. Very much so. Farming hasn't been very good for the last 20 years. Some years, depending on weather and prices, it's make or break. You either break even or you lose a bit of money.
Yeah. Oh, let me ask another way then. Like, would you be able to? Do you foresee you be able to continue farming as you are without that bit of diversification that you've done?
No way.
Is it not? Is it?
No
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it viable what you're doing?
No.
What would
not
then?
As a farm to stand on its own 2 feet. No.
Yeah, and that will be a familiar story with farmers all over the place.
When the Prime Minister told us years ago farmers had to diversify, that's more or less telling us we're not going to get any more for our product. We've reached the food price for our product, whether it's milk, beef, sheep or pigs, because they want to keep prices low so people got money in their pocket to spend on other luxury items.
Now, I want to ask you, as you're an average everyday farmer, the likes of which are up and down this country, keep this country going every day,
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the government's policy on beef and lamb?
Not 100%, no. I'm learning a little bit what's going on out in the big wide world, but on day to day, I wasn't. No.
Well, beef and lamb farming, they are looking at drastically reducing beef and lamb farming by the year 2030. So you're like a medium. I don't know if that was what you class as a medium-sized farm, but you're not playing about it.
Yeah, we do it. We do it. We got reasonable size machinery. We can do it. I farm it for other people who want to still own the land. They haven't got a younger generation to farm. They still want to own the land and look out on a nice green field and see it being farmed tidily and up together. We're on today's scale, we're relatively small scale because a lot of the farms have got bigger, but it's a size we can manage. In this area, competition for land anyway for expanding is pretty well sought after. I've got some pretty big neighbours anyway, but we're still farming.
Yeah.
We're still here.
And so, if the council is successful in stopping you, there's a serious side to this with the Proceeds of Crime Act because that's prison sentence stuff. So that if the council have their way, they're going to turn this farmer into a criminal and put him into prison. And that's what happened to Danny and Linda. That sounds shocking to me, and I understand a bit about this. So I don't know. I want to drive that home to you farmers that are out there watching this. this guy is one of you through a planning permission process where he's let a few of the local community use his barns. He's now being prosecuted, or they're attempting to prosecute him under the Proceeds of Crime Act, which has got serious consequences for this farming family. Now, so what? Without that diversification that you've been encouraged to do,
Yes.
but in both governments gone by, that you've done, without that diversification, can you see a future for this farm?
No.
What, as things stand, would you
as
like
it
your
stands.
children to come through on this farm? Do you know what I
Very
mean?
much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I've got a son who's interested and would like to carry on farming. I'm 61 now. My son's young. He's got a bit of fight to him, want to have a go, and it'd be nice to see him carry on. It gets me out of bed in the morning to see him wanting to go on farming.
Yeah, and that's obviously just so that obviously paints a picture here that you're not just looking to sell up and move on and cash in. You're here. Your family's been here for generations. Your son will be the fourth generations, and you're here. You want to keep farming.
Yes, very much so.
And what's stopping you farming then?
Lack of money.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. I mean, what is what threatens that would be the better question. What's the biggest threat for you at the moment? That's the better one.
Lack of cash flow.
Okay.
Lack of money coming in through the farming.
Through the actual farming, yeah. Because
Yeah.
you're Red Tractor certified as well, aren't you?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. And I guess what I was angling at is, our government policies at the moment, there's a better way of phrasing it, are government policies at the moment helpful for farmers or not helpful?
Not helpful. Not very helpful at all.
Right.
They, like you've described, they want to see the back of the small, medium to small time farmers, which I'm one of, and be big corporation farming, which isn't good for nobody.
I happen to agree with that point wholeheartedly, and that's part of this series, is to highlight what's actually going on the ground with these farmers. So how can the public help you, Mike? I mean, not you're necessarily asking for public help, but what have you got to sell for the public? Is there anything they can come and buy off you?
Yes.
Have you got plans for?
We have plans for a milk station, and would like to sell raw milk to the general public. Like to get more involved with the public, meeting people and showing people what we do, to produce their food.
Well,
that sounds ideal.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. And so you're looking at producing some raw milk and getting a milk station set up for the local community here to come and buy milk direct from you.
Yes.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'll get Mike's email address and I'll put that in the description. I know you're not ready to go on that right now, but that's something you're looking at imminently. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct, yes.
That's great stuff. So I'm going to put Mike's email address so you can contact Mike. So that would be great. Like, raw milk is extremely beneficial for health, and and that's the way the public can. Well, you can work with the public, can't you?
It's nice meeting the public on how things are today. The general public don't know quite understand where all their food comes from. We can explain and let them know how we produce the food. They can come and see the animals for themselves to see that we look after them well, and where the food comes from. And it's nice to interact with the people and just have a conversation with the people.
I think farming's got to get back to that. That's my personal feeling.
We've lost the connection here a little bit. It's between the farmer and the consumer. There's too much bureaucracy.
Yes.
Big supermarkets who want to control things, the government, and
red tape for health and safety about having people on the farm.
Yes. And there's a big divide. There's a negative publicity about farming as well, or what we do. And it'd be nice just to get back and meet the public and be part of the community.
Well, I think you installing a raw milk station here is a cracking idea, and there needs to be that is I think that'll be very successful for you. And so I think now we've had a bit of a chat, we understand the thing. I think we'll go and have a little nose around the farm a bit and see if some of these buildings and see what's going on.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. girls. Hello, Storms. Hello.
So this is the.
This is my
These
cows.
are the ladies.
Yeah, this is my cows.
They look nice, nice girls.
All friendly, aren't you?
Where'd you milk them then, Mike?
Just in the building over there. This
Yeah.
is where they're housed for the winter. That's their feed. Obviously, they have.
That's all you get that hay bought in, or you make that?
No, that's not what we've made ourselves.
Yeah.
And everything else. Yeah, they sleep in this cubicle house here for the winter, and yeah, obviously we look after them, and they look after us too. So.
Yeah. So it'd be nice. These are the girls that you might your raw milk possible venture
Yes.
coming off soon. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
They're all friendly, aren't we? All handwritten, all from everything on farm.
Yeah.
Is what we've reared.
Oh yeah.
It's all from our own herd, what we call a closed herd.
Yeah.
These date back 40, 80, 100 years of breeding.
Is that right?
Yeah.
From your so this reaches back for your family as well.
Yeah,
then?
through the generations of my
Wow.
family. We've got generations of family cow history.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. In the breeding of the
I never. Do you know that's I never considered before. Not only is your history of family here,
'Cause-
it's that these are the generations also that's
Yeah.
been with your.
With my grandfather.
Yeah.
And what my father done, and now what I'm doing, because these are I do artificial insemination with these for
Yeah.
the breeding program and everything else.
Yeah.
These are all calved on farm. They're all brought up from little babies to these big girls now.
Yeah.
And each have their own different characters, and part of
Yeah.
the family basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's why we do the job.
Yeah.
And everything else, aren't you? That's poo.
So unfortunately, though, as lovely as they are, they don't really pay their way, or you know, you couldn't survive just on these.
And if there isn't a money, animal welfare would suffer if we can't support. Well, these won't be alive.
Yeah. So are you telling me then, and the obviously people watching this, that without these extra bits you're doing here, you're going to struggle to maintain this farm?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. Their livelihoods. These animals' livelihoods depend on it
Yeah.
for cash flow
look-
and government policy
Yeah.
and everything else. And yeah, it's nice to see the individual characters of these. We live with these animals.
So this side of it's not criminal.
No.
That side we just looked at, you're criminal.
Yes.
Okay, just so we know.
Yes.
So what's this shed for then, Mike?
As you can see, there's some other people's vehicles here which we store, but we also have my own tractors, also some hay and straw for bedding for the animals, and the tractors we use on the farm.
So we've just seen your cows. That's the straw for the cows.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's your tractors there.
Yes.
I see you got a motorhome there, so someone's storing that here in your
Yes.
barn. This is obviously paying you to do
Yes.
so. Yeah. So that's some of your
In,
some of your
so-called-
extra diversifying,
Right,
whatever the government's buzzword is for it. But
yeah.
so that's what's going on in this barn then. Have you
Yeah.
got enforcement on this barn?
Not at present.
Not at present.
But it will
above
be.
the hard standing we're stood on.
Yeah.
So the hard standing in and around this barn,
Yes.
that's an enforcement
enforcement,
issue at the
yes.
moment. Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah. Right. Just so we know, we'll go
yes.
and have a look at some of the lorries you got.
Yes.
Here. So here's a few. This is the lorries you've got parked up here, then, is it?
Yes.
Mike?
And,
So obviously you're really close to the. Is it the M5 or M4 here?
both.
Yeah.
We're right on their junction with Almondsbury.
So you've got a busy old main road out front there, aren't you?
We're on a B road.
So again, you're not in the middle of the English countryside.
No.
I'm just trying to paint a picture of where you're located. You're very near the M5.
We're very close to Avonmouth and all the big road networks and everything
So
else.
obviously, most farms have got a lot of space and are ideal for parking the odd lorry or whatever.
Yes.
So I come past I think it's another farm there doing a similar thing. They've got a load of lorries and a load of I think there's industrial like plant hire people there. So what you're doing here is not much. It's no different than what is going on right next to you.
No.
Okay,
Very
then
much
so it's
so.
not out there. What I'm trying to say to the audience watching this is you're not doing anything here that's out of the ordinary.
No.
And this is what you would call diversification?
Yes.
And that's what the government have encouraged farmers to diversify.
Very much so, from the Prime Minister down.
So all you've done here then, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a bit of hard standing in between these sheds here and for these lorries to park on.
Yes.
And they're parked there.
Yes.
Is this the part of the enforcement?
Yes.
So am I right in saying then that having these lorries here is part of what's going to make you a criminal?
Yes.
For the Proceeds of Crime Act?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Right. And
That's
obviously,
what I mean.
we got here another motorhome. Someone's obviously paying for you to park that
be
there.
there. Yes.
Yeah. And again, just for the audience who don't know, don't understand farming and how farmers can survive nowadays, farmers have been encouraged by the government to diversify and to almost move away from farming a little bit and have your finger in a few other pies. And you've done that here. They open out some local lads that are fixing cars in one of your barns. A few locals have parked up the odd motorhome and a camper or whatever.
Yes.
And you've got a couple of lorries here. I say a couple, 4 lorries, whatever, and a lorry back, which is not out the way and doesn't look at a place on a farm anyway.
No.
But these are the things now. This diversification is going to make you a criminal if things roll forward.
Very much so. Yes.
Right. So what's this barn here then, Mike?
And this is what we've previously discussed. This is the guys who had trouble with the council on the side of the road, messing with their cars.
Oh yeah.
And everything else.
So they got a car lift there. I can see they've got the equipment there. It's a little workshop I can see.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a bit exposed. It's not but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're not on the side of the road anymore. Those lads. They're here now doing their cars.
They're in the dry.
And giving you, in exchange for one of your units, they're giving you a bit of cash for it.
Yes, that's all.
Well, that seems like a fair exchange to me.
They're having fun.
And this is what the start of the planning enforcement did it?
Yes.
Like things like this, like these lads here with this car.
This and the tarmac.
And this hard standing you've had put down, So this tarmac you've
not happy with.
And so this is gonna now turn into the proceeds of crime. Is that right? Because you're getting rent from these guys, or they're paying you some cash. I don't know if it's rent or what it is, but they're giving you cash in exchange for this barn.
Yes, use of.
And so that's going to equate to proceeds of crime. Now you don't look like a criminal to me. You look like a farmer. You sound like a farmer. We're going to have a look at your cows in a minute. You ain't got any fields of hemp and cannabis growing around here or nothing like that.
No.
So it's a couple of lads with their things.
Yes.
A few shipping containers.
Yes.
A few lorries that we'll go and have a look at in a minute, and some hard standing you've had put down.
Yes.
So am I right? Or am I missing anything here? Is that what makes you a criminal?
Well, that's what they're trying to make me out as, a criminal.
Right. Okay. And from that Proceeds of Crime Act, they're moving on you with that you could potentially lose this farm like Danny and Linda did.
Yes, very much so.
So it's serious.
Yeah, very serious.
And this is it. There's nothing. Yes. I'm not missing anything here, Mike.
No. No.
Right, and I need the audience to understand what's actually going on here. Why they're trying to make you a criminal.
Yes.
For a planning enforcement thing, for having a couple of lads in one of your barns. It's not even a covered-in barn. It's pretty open. They got a car lift there, and that
just
seems
some cars.
Don't seem right to me somehow. So what's this here then, Mike?
This is a practice area or music studio for the local steel band in Thornbury.
Oh yeah.
So they come here 3 nights a week, practice their music, their tunes.
That's awesome. So you if you like, donated this area for them to come and practice it.
Yeah, they have it rent free, and this is my way of putting back into the community. We get enjoyment. They play in the local town and different venues throughout the year, and this is my way of putting back into the community.
Steel band, is it?
Panache Steel Band.
Panache Steel Band.
Yes.
I like it.
The council turfed them out of the old premises due to turning into housing development. They had nowhere else to go. I offered the building because it was redundant. Yes, we've got steel glass doorway in, but it's brought the building to life. There's about 60 members practice on 3 nights. Listening to a local steel band.
Brilliant. And just out of interest, is this part of any enforcement as well?
Not at present.
Oh, we'll see how that goes after this goes out.
Yes, very much so. Okay.
So on this episode of Farming Matters, we've met Mike from Gloucester. Now this is Mike from Gloucester, but this is every farmer up and down the land. Currently, Mike faces losing his farm and being branded a criminal for renting out some barn space, putting down some hard standing and allowing some lorries to park and some motorhomes parking on the land there. You've seen the situation. So Mike's a family farmer, third generation. He's hoping his boy can take over and his daughter, and that'll be the fourth generation of farmers. He currently faces now losing everything from the local council now and being criminalised for under the Proceeds of Crime Act. What started out as a planning permission situation, a planning enforcement situation, is now moving towards a criminal situation under the Proceeds of Crime because he's taking rent from people who are using his barns without planning permission. If the likes of Mike are being branded a criminal and being pursued in the courts by the local councils, something is seriously wrong. And if it can happen to Mike, it can happen to any farmer anywhere. Mike is now beginning to understand his situation more properly from a law and governance perspective, and he is beginning to understand what he can do about his situation. It was too late for Danny and Linda. They lost their farm for the same process, the Proceeds of Crime Act. It's my opinion, and it's only my opinion, but I feel that local councils are using the Proceeds of Crime Act because the public would not put up with farmers losing their farms over planning contravention notices and planning matters. So I feel councils are using the Proceeds of Crime Act that because the optics are a lot better. They can paint the farmer out to be the bad guy, put him in a very bad light, make it look like he's up to no good, when in fact truly all that's going on is that farmers like Mike are renting out their barn space and getting rent and getting monies from the local people to try and make ends meet and to try and keep their farm going. That's what it boils down to. It's not proceeds of crime, and that's why they're going for the Proceeds of Crime Act, because you can't take a farmer's farm off him. It would not look well and would not go down well with the public to make a farmer lose his farm over a planning contravention, a breach of planning control, which in itself is not illegal. Not having planning permission is not illegal. It's my hope that Mike's case and Danny and Linda's case bring to light what's going on with farmers all around Britain. Nearly every farm is diversified. Nearly every farm will have a situation like very similar to what Mike's got going on there. This is not uncommon. So, if this can happen to Mike, it can happen to you. So, please share this video within your local farming communities. Let them know what's happening. Let them know the situation they need to be aware of with their local councils so that they can get ahead of it at the start. And so they don't go as far along the journey as Danny and Linda's case happened, where they lost their farm. So please share this video with your local farming community and get the word out there. And Mike's email will be in the description. When he opens his milk station, get along to support Mike and go and get your raw milk from Mike. And if Mike's not your local farmer, then go and find your local farmer and buy some produce off of them. They need our support.